Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and let's jump straight into it. In this video I'm going to show you how to get that smooth faded beard for always looking slick. If you want to do it at home, if you're wanting to become a barber, you can follow those few simple steps I'm going to give you, and hopefully you can learn something from it. Let's go. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna start my fade with the first guideline, which is with my babyliss trimmer. I'm gonna set my first guideline, and then I'm gonna start lining up the beard. I usually start lining up the beard before I use my trimmer, because by doing that you can get a sharp line up, and you know where the natural hair ends. Because sometimes when you fade and you go too short with the fade, for example you're doing 0, and then you're gonna end up going a little lower with the line up, and it's just gonna, I don't know, I just play it safe, just to stay on the safe side. I line up the beard first, and then I start my fade. Just line it up one last time with stretching the skin a bit. By stretching the skin, you're gonna get a slight curve with the line. So the more you stretch the skin, the more curve you get. I'll quickly clean up the cheeks before I start my fade, so I know that it's already done and dusted for later. Makes cleaning up later more easier. Alright, now we're gonna get the foil shaver, and we're gonna shave down to the first guideline that we put in, and we're gonna make sure that it's nicely cleaned up so the fade turns out more proper. Alright, now I'm gonna get my machine. I'm gonna open the lever all the way, and that's basically a half, and then I'm gonna put in my second guideline. I'm gonna go down at about halfway of the bead. Alright, now here's the trick. You gotta watch closely what I'm gonna do. I go halfway to the bead with my lever open, and then you can fade down to 0, start fading down to 0, but I'll leave that for later. And then I'm gonna get my 1.5 guard with the lever open as well, and then I'm gonna go down and stop just before where the chin is. Alright, now you can see my half, where I stopped with my half, and then where my 1.5 stopped as well. Now you only got one guideline, which is the second guideline that I put in, where I stopped with the half. I'm gonna get my one guard with the lever open and start fading down like you usually fade. Well, now I'm fading up, but it's like how you fade down when you're fading up on the hair. And then as you're going up and up towards that second guideline, that half guideline, we close the lever bit by bit so we can try and break that line. You see that there's a bit of a line left, so I get my half guard with the lever open and play around, open it and close it until that guideline is gone. So you work your way up with the lever open first, and you just work your way down with the lever as you go up. Alright, here I'm gonna start doing my 0. So with the lever open, which is basically half, you start closing it down, you start closing the lever down all the way to 0, so we can attack that skin guideline that we put, the first guideline that we put in. Alright, now a bit of detailing work with the half guard. You see any lines, you just attack it with that half guard to clear it up, and then you move on. Alright, now a bit more detailing work with no guard. You open and close the lever. If you see any lines, you just attack those lines. So in order to make that fade more smoother, by detailing you make the fade smoother. Now I'm gonna get my babyliss trimmer again, and I'm gonna flip it over and just attack that last guideline, the first guideline that I put in, and work my way up with a gentle touch without putting any pressure. If you put any pressure, you're gonna just create more guidelines, and it's just gonna get harder and harder to break or get rid of. Alright, now we're gonna jump onto the mustache. I'm gonna get my wall machine, I'm gonna open the lever all the way, which is basically a half, and then I'm gonna go from top to bottom, from the top of the mustache, and work my way downwards. All that's gonna do is just give it a nice clean up and get rid of the bulkiness. Now I'm gonna get my trimmer, my babyliss trimmer, and line up where his lips are. I'm gonna line up his lips so his mustache is not overhanging on his lips, and then I'm gonna start lining up his neck. Remember, when lining up the neck, you gotta always have a nice straight line. If you don't have a nice straight line, your bead's gonna look bad. It's gonna look weird. Not gonna look right. Alright, just a bit of work on the line up here, and then I'm gonna start cleaning up his neck now after that. Now I'll quickly jump over to the other side and basically do the same thing. If you want to make it easier for you, you can work according to his cheek lineup. You can make his neckline a little bit parallel to his cheek line, and you can use that as, you can say, a guideline. You can use that as a guideline, as a guide for you, to help you get that straight finish on his neck, on the neck. After you finish lining up the other side, you can get a quick peek from the middle of his neck to see if the line's straight, and if it's not, you go back and you fix whatever needs to be done. Alright, next I'm gonna get my foil shaver so I can get a clean finish on his neck. Clean and smooth finish, always, in order to get that nice and clean haircut for the head, for the hair or the beard, whatever you're doing. Just make sure you get a clean finish before you finish the clawing off. Alright, now I'm gonna get my number 2 guard and work my way down from the lips all the way down to his neck, just so we can clean out that bulkiness and whatever's sticking out from the hair on his chin. After that, I'm gonna get my 1.5 guard and I'm gonna open the lever all the way, and I'm basically gonna do the same thing if the hair's still sticking out. If I still see hair sticking out, you can go 1 number down. Not 1 number, but you can go like a little touch down with the guards to get that clean look or clean finish. Now I'm gonna go back with my normal trimmer with my wall clippers, and then I'm gonna quickly go over the line because it was slightly out, and with your big clippers you can get a wider attack angle because it's wider than the trimmer. And always remember, when you're working wherever, if you're doing hair, if you're doing beard, you're not just looking at where you're working, you're looking at the whole thing. For example, you finish the lineup, you just take a quick peek on the cheeks, on the mustache, and if you see anything, you just quickly know what to do next. You don't stop and wait and check up. You just keep looking all over your work site. For example, you've seen something in the beard, you've seen a guideline, you've seen a line, you take it out. You see something in the fade, you take it out. You fix it straight away. Alright, now I'm just gonna quickly line up his mustache so it can give it a more sharper look. And then it's basically done. The beard's basically done. Almost done. Alright, so it's told me around his lips, next to his lips, he's got those small hairs that keep going into his mouth, into his lips, that keep annoying him. So I just took these off for him, and then that's it. Whatever you see, now you're basically finishing up the beard. Bit of a line up here, sharpening up the line from here, from the bottom, sharpening up the line from the top, sharpening up his mustache. Now it's just all detailing work, as they say. Alright, so now I'm basically done, and here's the finished product. I hope you guys learned something from it.